Hey, Undead Heads, welcome to our podcast. I'm Jason.
And I'm Karen.
And this is the Walking Dead cast, episode 24, and we're back to talking about the zombies. This is what happened if all the zombies came into this room.
And we'd be dead. End of show. Hey, thanks for listening.
And so all zombie. I thought about doing that, but I think probably a dumb idea. Just to do an all zombie show. Yeah, I'd be like, we'd have to be like 5 minutes long, and it would be, we'd start off with the intro, and then I'd be like, yeah, we'd still do all the time. We probably would.
Yes.
Okay. So we were just going to have a conversation about movies, and I said, no, let's do it on the show. So
yeah,
let's do it. Because I want to try and get some more guests on over the hiatus here, but I've been really busy with work, so I haven't had a chance to look into it. But in the meantime, it's kind of fun to just watch some scary zombie movies and talk about them,
Agreed.
So what do you
I had two ideas for two movies I wanted to see, and one of them was actually suggested by listeners and fans, RJ and Kathy. Black Sheep. Have you heard about this movie?
The Chris Farley comedy?
No.
That's a great movie.
Is it really?
Yeah, one of my favorites.
I think it's called The Black Sheep. It's I think a New Zealand movie. Sheep, Mother Sheep, New Zealand, and it's about zombie sheep. And
Really?
they said it was one of the best movies they've seen. They loved this
They
movie.
like highbrow movies or super obscure.
This is zombie.
It's not
Highbrow
zombie sheep doesn't sound
No, it doesn't.
But they have the kind of particular taste to
They
things,
do,
right?
they do.
So I mean, go on. Yeah,
That's the first. And by the way, that movie makes some of the top list that I've seen of zombie movies, all time zombie movies. Believe it or not, I know. Look at that, my friend. Second movie to consider is Drag Me to Hell, the latest Sam Raimi movie. Supposed to be great.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, I
Was
thought you were a Sam Raimi fan.
I am.
It was very good, yeah. I really liked it, yeah.
I know.
Well, okay, if we're not going to see it, then I'll say it's really good. It's very subdued compared to other horror stuff. So there's like little tastes of evil deadishness in there, but it's not like a full-blown crazy wacky. It's good. It's very simple and it's fun. You should see that, yeah. You like it.
Okay, well, let's see Black Sheep then.
Well, I was thinking about this too, and I was thinking, the Crazies. I love these movies I've seen though. The Crazies.
I've not seen Crazies.
But I've seen it. It's really good. Shaun of the Dead, of course, would be fun. We should watch that sometime. Talk about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Or Dead Snow, we brought it before. Sorry, I couldn't be here. Undead, people say it's good. It's an Australian zombie movie from 2003.
Yeah.
There's classic old ones like I Walked with a Zombie from the 40s. Those supposed to be good. You can watch sometime. Dead Alive I've never seen.
That is amazing. Dead Alive is, I think, Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's sort of in the same vein as Evil Dead, right? Crazy
Yes.
Splatterfest.
It's great.
I gotta see that.
It is great. It's Peter Jackson, like Peter Jackson on steroids.
And Pet Sematary I loved. That's not really zombie, but it's people coming back to life.
Did that come back?
Yes.
See, zombie pets.
Yeah, that's what I thought of. Karen has Megan.
Yep, I was showing some amazing pictures of my Megan. Can you say what you're showing me pictures of?
Oh, I'll say that later.
Okay.
Nothing to do with zombies. So I also, since the last time we had our podcast, I've been watching some really freaky movies. There's this director I discovered who some of you might know. His name is Vincenzo Natali. He's actually American.
That's who, what's his butt told us about, right?
Who did? Oh, no, that was Dario Argento.
Oh.
It was funny. But he did a movie called Cube in 98, I think. And these people wake up inside this cube. There's a door on each of the walls, the ceiling, and the floor, and they don't know how they got there. And when you open the door and you go into another cube, sometimes there's trap in there. So like one guy, actually, the very first scene was, I don't even want to say the first scene, it was so cool, but he'll get a blowtorch and fully burns you to death. And so they start like their boots off and they go into the next room, see if anything attacks it, and then they go in. And there's numbers on each of the cubes, so they try to figure out the puzzle, and it's freaky and it's like confined space. The reason why they did it is because it was the first movie, didn't have any money, so they were able to just use one set.
Yeah,
Which
yeah.
It's very Twilight Zone-ish,
Yeah.
So I looked into his work, and he did a movie recently called Splice this year.
Yes, I got it at home.
Okay.
It was in my Netflix queue.
And it's Adrian Brody and Sarah Polley, who was actually the star of Dawn of the Dead remake.
Right.
Which I loved her. And they're two young hip genetic scientists, and they're making these they're creating life like these primitive life forms in order to extract the protein they use for medical purposes. But then they splice in some human DNA in there, even though they're not supposed to. And it turns into this creature.
Yeah.
That's and some really fucked things happen.
Oh, I can't wait to see it. Seriously, we have it at
So
home.
I was thinking it would be fun, even though it's not totally zombie related. In some obscure freaky direction. So actually, why don't we? She's pretty freaky too.
Yeah.
So why don't we watch both of those
Yeah,
next time?
that's
You haven't seen much either. I've seen, but I want to talk about that. So let's do both. So everybody out there, if you want to join in, watch Slice. It's 2010 movie with Adrian Brody. Watch Cube if you really get some weird stuff. I don't know how much about that. I recommend it. And the other one, what's it called?
Black Sheep?
Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Not the Chris Farley.
Not
I would recommend watching it too.
If you want to follow it up with the Chris Farley fade.
You see a big guy falling down. You've got the wrong movie. Okay, that's good. I also watched it around my way for the first time to see that.
No, it's good.
I thought it was awesome.
It's great.
Yeah, and it's a movie that is so great because you watch it and everybody knows there's a twist ending, right? I'm saying what it is, but even though they're then you have to watch it again and see what you missed the first time. Because it's great. I love it even more than Okay. One thing I want to talk about because it's been so long I had all these deadlines, so I kept finding all these distractions. But I played Red Dead Redemption, which a lot of you might know about. It's this cowboy game made by the same people that did Grand Theft Auto.
And when was it released?
Early this year.
Yeah.
So it's open world, so you get on a horse, and people say it's Grand Theft Auto in Cowboyville, but it's much more that's beautiful to look at. You do everything you do as a cowboy. You rob a train, you rope cattle and herd them. You have duels. You play poker and you cheat, and if they catch you, you have to have a duel. And you do all these favors for people, and it's just really cool. So they did an add-on, which is warming us up, called Undead Nightmare, that brings zombies into the equation, and it's really cool. And they're very fast and easy to quiet. And Amazon did have to shoot in the head. Yeah, so you have a really game, but there's so many of them. I can't recommend enough. It's one of the best games I've ever played.
Super pretty too. It's gorgeous. You're horse. I love that. But it's really so well done. You really feel like you're in the movie, and it looks like it's a really fun state. I mean, here in San Francisco, we're pretty much riding around in a hacienda in Mexico, and that happened to be over zombies. It was fun actually. Some of the goods and then
Yeah, you spend a lot of the first part of the game in the old west towns, and then you're trying to find your old gang members and bring them to justice. And throughout your searching about going over to Mexico, and you saw there's all these haciendas and things like that. But very cool.
Yeah, and it's easy to.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't even have this. It's really good. Yeah. That's really easy. Okay, so that was only on today's show. We're gonna talk about like Mission Last Time 28 weeks later, which I hope you guys all have seen or watched before this. We're gonna do some listener groans and runs, just a couple. I got some news about The Walking Dead. Then we'll do our Cast of 5 for the week. It's our top 5 favorite zombie characters, right? Yeah. And then we'll do a little zombie news this week, zombies with Karen. And I got a couple of contest announcements, and that'll be it.
Great. Let's do it.
Okay, let's get into 28 weeks later. You hadn't seen it before, right?
I had not seen it before.
What do you think?
Overall, I gotta say, I loved it. I thought it was really well done, and I couldn't remember whether it was this one or was it third?
No.
There was one in New York.
No.
I
I'm Legend. Was that New York? Will Smith?
And then one I haven't seen.
Oh, so that's not
I loved it. I loved 28 Days Later. I saw that a couple times. Really enjoyed it. 28 Weeks Later, I didn't expect to like it, and I really
Did you like it as much?
it dragged along the middle. But I like the beginning a lot. I like the whole thing in the beginning. I like the end quite a bit. So maybe it's not quite as much, but I really
Close?
Yeah.
Yeah, because people, I think got pretty good reviews, but there were a lot of people who said it wasn't as good. And I could see it not being quite, but see, I didn't like the end of the original, like the second half, once I got to the whole military compound, I was bored.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Although I kind of liked, I mean, both these movies are about zombies up to a certain point, and then they're about people and the crazy people and the military and how bad the military. Both movies have the military kind of gone wild.
yeah, except in this movie.
You kind of see what
yeah,
they did.
it wasn't as clear to me that
Right.
they were messing, they were just doing it necessary to save the population.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, which made it interesting.
It did. At first, I was like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, saving the world. Yeah. I mean, but then again, so to recap really quickly, after the rage has left England and they're repopulating bits and pieces of like London and specifically this one little island, and so they're bringing people back who were putting like I think the people they focus on these two kids that were in Spanish sort of camp for refugees from England. So they bring them back, and it's sort of what happens repopulating.
Everyone should have seen it, by the way.
Yeah, like hearing about it.
Because you want to hear a lot of without seeing it, right? Like, you listening to it.
So after they go, and they go back to the kids' estate, and they go back to their home in London or somewhere in London, and they discover that their mom is sort of hiding. She's sort of weird and sort of feral, clearly not quite right.
Yeah.
They bring back to the military compound, and instead of keeping her locked because they know she's been bitten, they know that she's special, they know that she's not quite right. Instead of keeping her guarded, instead of making sure that nobody gets in there, because let's face it, she's been infected, they know that. They just let anybody walk in, and that's where the trouble begins. Because that's when her husband comes in and kisses her. Hey, how you do? Not the dinky eyes, because apparently not the dinky eyes.
Yeah, I mean, he's the caretaker Oh, I mean, he's got a job there.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's semi-plausible that you would have access.
Yeah.
But you can take extra security on this woman.
And maybe kissing her, maybe at this point, not such a great idea to be tongue kissing. Oh, good lord. And then the rage. And so that was like kind of awful. But right, maybe he did have quite military access.
It's also, I mean, horror movies, you could say, well, you could say it's a horror movie. People have to do dumb things or else it's not going to be a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly.
No, don't do that. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was kind of an interesting way for him to catch the virus, you know?
Yeah, his wife. Yeah. Actually,
and then he like kiss her, and then next thing you know, he's got
getting your eyes out.
so brutal.
Oh, it really was. By the way, two big Hollywood horror movie guys. You're safe now. The first.
Yeah.
Second one is we'll never be separated again.
Yeah, you hear that?
Oh, that's
Don't
right.
listen.
Yeah.
And you know the little kid, he got it too in the end, right? And then his eyes are messed up.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you see all the infected running around the Avatar.
Yeah.
And you're like, I'll get infected. Everybody in Paris. Sorry. And those, everything bad happened in the movie because of the kids.
Right.
Which is another thing that's a little bit like, there's things in this movie that are like, oh, because you like the kids, but they they messed it all up.
I think that's potentially good in the cure.
Yeah, but it doesn't work out that way.
As the doctor was saying, he has immunity. He's infected, and he is clearly he could be the key to figuring out what's going on. And that was only more clearly articulated, or he was somehow
Yeah,
contained.
yeah. I wish that the woman doctor who was protecting the kids would have told them that. They could have understood that.
Right.
And then maybe they could have made sure not to infect anybody. But that would just be a reasonable logical narrative.
Right. But the kid's name is Matt Hamilton.
Is that his real name?
It's his real name. Matt Hamilton. And the movie was Andy. But the actor's name is Matt Hamilton. We decided to bring our new kid. It was crazy. That's our alter ego. Matt Hamilton.
He should get better with Andrew Clark.
Matt Hamilton. So I had my number one zombie killing scene.
Oh yeah, very cool.
The helicopter blade scene.
I mean, anyone could do that. Just how cool it was. Made it worthwhile.
It was terrible. It's terrible.
I remember back when he got rid of Lost, and that was the next thing that he did after that.
Oh, really? He was great.
Yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is a zombie movie?
There certainly are zombies of a kind, but not classic zombies. They're not dead and reanimated. They are humans that have this rage virus.
I think I might have. They're so fast and the camera,
Yeah.
losing hard to see what's going on.
Right.
But I thought maybe I saw a couple with like big holes in
You
it
did.
still running.
You did, so,
So
yeah.
they're closer, I think, to zombies than the ones in the original. I don't know if that happened in the original. Where they can survive even though they made organs and things.
Yeah, I remember the classic one. I had this big
Yeah,
crescent taken out of his torso.
so people saying, oh, you shouldn't have this zombie. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's close enough because it achieves the same effect.
Right, exactly. However you get it. And they're pissed off. They're pissed off zombies, and they're fast. They're fast.
They're rage virus. Yeah, it's like they're angriest. But what I thought was interesting is when the father killed his wife, my skin stones in the horizon, biting her, right after that, he kind of satisfied, calm, look at him. No, dude, he's bad.
Does she eventually waste him in the subway?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He kind of shows. I thought that was a little more stretch that they just happened to run into him a couple times through the movie.
Yeah.
It
It's like alpha zombie.
Yeah.
But apparently they starve. I mean, that's why they're really populated because zombies, according to the little subtitles, the zombies starve.
So I thought I liked the movie. At the same time, I didn't like it quite as much. I think the same reason you kind of dragged it, but I still liked it. And I think the cool idea for a set where it's the aftermath of this huge quarantine thing, and with the military all around, like kind of bored and silent, everybody. You know,
Yeah.
It was a cool idea for a set and having this like just being the repopulation. I've never quite seen anything like that before.
Right.
So
Yeah.
cool.
It was very original. And and that was fabulous. I liked a little scene where they just escape. I mean, they escape the contained area and go into Greater London. Kids. You'd think that it was important to not be in that contained area. They wouldn't have big barbed wire fences. Or they could take up bridges.
I thought they did a pretty good job of showing them sneak behind on the side of the bridge, sneak behind the military guys, and as soon as they got in, they were spotted, so there were people watching.
Yeah.
But
Right. So they were able to follow them to their house
Yeah.
and grab the infected mom. All night scenes involving Andy were all filmed, by the way, during the day. They were shot with Dave Knight shooting using a technique that were developed for this film because the kid is so young. They couldn't shoot during the night, so they had to shoot during the day and look at night.
Cute kid. I thought the kids did very well, but the girl, she looked like her face looked grown up, you know?
Yeah.
And it was distracting because it looked like an adult face on a little kid's body.
Yeah.
I just got the cutest kids they could find for this. It was just fine, but it just felt weird.
Yeah. She's Imogen Poots.
Yeah.
I think her name is.
I liked the frenetic way that they filmed it, grainy and choppy. You know,
Yeah.
I think I could see people not liking that, but I thought it worked to make them seem more just crazy.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
dangerous.
Yeah. And they started a little bit during 20 days later, didn't they?
Yeah, and I think I should probably watch these together, but it looked like the director was trying to ape Danny Boyle's style. You know, I thought he did a good job. You know, but he wanted to seem like a sequel.
He was, I think, executive producer or something.
Danny Boyle.
He was involved in some somehow.
Yeah, usually that just means nothing.
Right, exactly.
They kind of endorse it. You know, so, well, Danny Boyle's in the movie too, that kind of thing. Because I heard that it was Vincenzo Natali, the director of Cube and Slice. They made 2 more Cube movies after his with the directors. So it's more people trapped in different cubes. And one of them said that Vincenzo Natali was the director. No, wasn't it? Anyway,
Yeah.
whatever. So Jeremy Renner, I remember when I watched this before. I didn't remember that I actually was in high school. Jeremy Renner, I didn't know who it was, but I'm like, oh, this guy likes character, and I wanted to see that he's not so popular. And I remember that I was with him. I still like character, and no, I totally did. I thought he played it so cool and
He's a little guy.
yeah, he seemed very capable, but you could tell he was panicked, but he kept it calm.
Yeah, he's great.
He had that moment after he already shot a couple people where he said, he has sex on the boy, he can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Then he became a hero. And I don't know, I just really thought
Was
he
he
did a
a
good
hero?
job.
Was he a hero?
Well,
If he had done his job, if he was a kid.
That's true.
France would be fine.
You're right.
France would still be
I like where his heart was.
Yeah, I know. It's a decision.
You're right.
It's a decision any of us would make, and it would be a wrong decision because you have to look at the big picture, and the picture is saving the world, as opposed to saving the adorable Matt Hamilton.
Right, and yeah, he made it out, and his commanding officer who had some discharge, and he might even been criminally prosecuted.
Yeah,
He did in Paris.
yeah. Thanks for ruining that. Yeah, I found Europe and the face of the world. Thanks, dude.
You get a call. Well, that makes me remember one of the things I was thinking. Like, I thought one thing I liked about this movie was the acting was great.
Yeah.
Robert Carlyle was awesome.
He is great.
And when he was in that farmhouse in the beginning, and he looked at his wife, and she wanted him to stay, and he left. I was like, what would I do? I don't know. It seemed like there was nothing to do, right? That's kind of what I thought. Like, I mean, in any other movie, or not any other, a lot of movies, he would be a hero, but this seemed more like what most people might do. You know, a lot of
It
people
did actually. It really did. It turned out, he looked like coward to me.
Yeah.
When he was running away.
Yeah, he had
And
a nice face,
right, and then he ran towards the boat with dragging all the zombie behind him. This poor guy who was
I know,
down there.
got killed.
And he had to like basically a lot of people in order to get back to be with his kids. And
Yeah, but it wasn't like he had very much time to think
no,
about
of course, a lot of us made it.
Yeah, and if you're there in the room and you're like, I can stay here and get killed, or I can run away. Those are my choices.
Right. It's your instinct as an animal to keep going. And he was probably weighing the consequences. Kids needed a parent.
I mean, what I thought is, what could he do?
Right.
What else could he do? Because they were all coming upstairs and shoot. They were just all over the area.
Yeah.
He'd presumably seen a bunch of people die already. Didn't have any guns or anything. You know,
Right.
like, what else are you gonna do? And I think he would have died. And the only reason she died is she had that immunity.
Right. And maybe she would have. I mean, the immunity is great, but she would have infected somebody else at another point. I mean, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, if he was dead, I think he would have been dead.
Yeah,
you know?
he would have. But as it turns out, it wasn't a good thing that he left.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those things. Yeah, well, I guess, I mean, then business kids would come over and,
Could have, I mean,
what are you saying? If he died, then what would you do? His kids would come over and mess up everything. Who you blame with something like this? I mean, it's not like the Titanic. A lot of things have to go wrong in order for the issue of energy to go down. So a lot of things had to go wrong in order for France to be infected. I mean, I think the people who made the most obvious mistake were the kids, but the kids.
Right, exactly,
You know?
exactly. And even Harold Perrineau, his character, military guy, laying them onto the helicopter and still wasting them, like I'm sure he ordered to. I'm sure they were all ordered to waste everybody. And the adorable children were clearly not infected. How could he know?
That's why they got two kids, as if they were ugly and they would have shot. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
got it.
Nobody shoots adorable children.
Yeah, they're kind of average. I love the music variation, but I thought it kind of sounded very like.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. I thought the movie was brutal and very intense, and I'm glad every zombie movie is like that because it was kind of a bummer actually.
Yeah.
I'm glad some are like that because it's good to have variety and to have this movie that can sustain this level of tension for a while is cool.
Agreed.
I thought it felt almost like a war movie.
Oh, it did. It felt less like a zombie movie after a while, and more like a movie about the military, and more like a war movie, absolutely. And in fact, that's one thing dude was saying. Like, it's kind of maybe because it's mostly about trying to survive zombies anymore. But then it became about zombies later.
I mean, Walking Dead has a lot of that. The TV show.
Yeah, right.
Zombie stuff,
But
survival.
if you do it right, if you do it well, then it can be really fun.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if you make it stay about characters
Right,
more.
right.
The only other thing I wanted to say is I thought it's an interesting question. Okay, what we liked about this, what we like to see more of in The Walking Dead TV show.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Walking Dead TV show is all about character and survival, but I want to see at least an episode or sections where it is really intense terror like this.
Right,
you know,
right.
I want to get more scared sometimes. than I
Right.
have so far.
Does the comic bring it up?
Not really.
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard, like we talked about before. I think it's hard to do that in a comic. A comic can't scare you as well as a movie.
Right.
It's about timing and stuff.
Right.
But they could do it in the TV show, and I hope they do. The whole thing with the firing of the writers, I'm starting to think that maybe there is something about it. It's a way for Darabont to bring in more like top-notch writers to do one episode. You know,
Right.
so you don't have the staff that you always pay all every episode. You just bring in one guy who's like, I don't know, who's like on Stephen King. I don't know if he's top-notch. You know, something
Right.
like that
To write an
Something
episode,
there.
yeah.
But it would take a people directing to make it scarier too.
And it feel cohesive.
Yes, yeah, and that's yeah. I guess I wouldn't mind if it was a little less cohesive as long as each episode was great.
Yeah, yeah,
Other stories
yeah.
would be, but the style
Right.
would be different.
You're fine with that. Yeah,
I
I
think so. I think so. As long as it's good.
But I'd like to see more of that was in 20 Clear, more zombies being killed by helicopter.
Legit, what if I'm running along with 10 speed and some of the comic books? That'd be
No,
not as good.
not as good.
That's not right.
And that's why you're not Hollywood.
Oh, thanks. Okay. I thought that it was pretty, you know, and had the style photography and everything. I think it would be cool to have Walking Dead do some of that. Although I do love some of the cinematography in Walking Dead, which we talked about. So anyway,
Yeah, absolutely. Good.
okay, you got nothing else to say about
No.
that? All right,
Okay.
let's move on to our listener notes. We had some haikus this week, but I'm gonna say those because we don't have produced another contest, so we'll do those next time. But we only have one email.
Okay, sure. Is it
So
Don Santa Cruz from Don Santa Cruz? And the subject is puppies. He starts with haiku. Puppies, not zombies. Like the podcast. Oh damn, eat the puppies' brains. Top 5 TV shows. I enjoy TV show discussion. We live in golden age of television. That's true. Sure, there's a lot of crowd out there, but primarily thanks to cable television pushing envelope to ever more creative directions. I enjoy many of the same shows on my list. Look forward to seeing shows I haven't watched, such as Freaking Geeks, Buffy, and Firefly. Oh, Don, you are in for a treat. You're gonna love this. I appreciate it. It's not a sport. It can provide great unscripted drama. Absolutely. Please have my vote in favor of a true episode. Woo, all right. And you want to say, 20 years later, I like the homework assignment. Just watching the last night. It was an interesting take on the genre, viewing it through the lens of the baby virus. Almost instantaneous transformation provided for a frightening scenario. But yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
The
okay.
transformation was so freaking quick.
Yeah, I like that.
Those were no shambling zombies. Helicopter needed to be zombies. I agree. Those stupid kids got what they deserve. Let's sneak off into the corner enough. Zombie sector to get a picture. Brilliant. Jeremy Renner kicks ass. Wow, done. Love it. So second stuff, one more haiku. Word on the cast. Falling behind my podcast. Eat Gary versus Brains. Yum. Thanks for the work, Don Santa Cruz. Don, you're awesome. You're just awesome.
Yeah, let's say we did.
Thanks,
Okay, news about the next day with us. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back and Karen's telling me that Mom's listening. Hi, Karen, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you, Mom.
She's your mom.
You're good.
Awesome. What'd you think?
Good question, Mom. Please write it. It'll take us give us zombies. Okay. All right. This means
She's
it's
right
you.
in there.
Equals. Hello, Danny.
Okay, I did a little checking up on the news that happened since we last talked, and so we're gonna do a little news about Walking Dead. Walking Dead did not win Golden Globe for Best TV Show or Black Empire one.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Have you seen that? Oh, really? Seen it?
Yeah.
It's not good?
Tim likes it.
Yeah.
I don't like it that much. It's very slow.
Oh.
I was gonna be Sopranos, like a Sopranos. I was really hoping for like, oh, great Steve Jimmy, Sopranos, Sopranos. And,
Yeah, I'm getting that vibe about it too. That
Yeah.
people are like, it's all right.
maybe better. I don't know. I started through about 5 episodes. I was not impressed. And my friends like, hey,
Yeah, she's gonna watch Buffy Vampire Remote. Okay, next, Neil Brown Jr., who played Guillermo on Battle's episode of Walking Dead, is hinting that he'll be back for season 2.
Sweet.
He also suggested that the freelance writers will be writing for the next one we were talking about, because the writing team supposedly got fired.
Yeah.
He says, I'm not saying that this is what's gonna happen, but that's what talk is around town. I'm pretty excited about the scripts that are coming out. Of course, they're watching everything closely. Right now, we're watching everything closely, so he seems to know something.
did Walking Dead win any Golden Globes, or did you by shot mean
I
shot?
think that was the only one so far.
Yeah.
So no.
She won this night,
Maybe for an Oscar.
Yes.
Anyway, there's the Walking Dead Survivor Guide is coming out. The 4-issue miniseries coming out from Image starting in April, written by Robert Kirkman and Tim Daniel, who I don't know who that is. The sales copy says everything everyone wants to know about the cast of Walking Dead. The Survivor Guide is a handy checklist of all the characters who appeared in the series thus far, alive or dead. The series is kind of supplement to the comic book series, doesn't have TV series on the other series, and it's in the 1, 2, 3. Anyway, that sounds like
Yeah, it actually does.
Zombies vs. Vampires from Deadline.com. Quote, NBC has closed the deal for Zombies vs. Vampires. Vampire Suspects by Jake Parker's creator, executive producer Austin Winsberg. I hear NBC bought preemptively the project produced by Warner Brothers TV and MG Studio based on Underland production banner. Zombies vs. Vampires is described as a fun buddy cop procedural. It's a world where zombies are part of society controllable with medication. The show's 2 leads, one secretly vampire, opposite squad specifically formed to deal with quote zombie crime.
So their situation can be controlled with medication, and they're still crime because even though they're highly medicated, they're still they're
Every once in a while, one
still brains.
goes off, well, that is medication. Brains. I don't know.
That's all weird.
But everybody's jumping on the zombie bandwagon. That's NBC. There's also a zombie show coming to the CW. It says the ranking living dead are now shambling where the CW is developing a script for the awakening of two sisters who face off against each other just as zombie apocalypse kicks in. Didn't say very much.
The whole series? This is like a short series.
It seems like 50 minutes. You stole my dress.
You stole my hairbrush.
Yeah, and you are. Chomp, chomp.
Thanks for listening. Wow.
Okay.
That sounds more like zombies.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, I'm doing more Walking Dead zombie stuff. I just thought since they were TV shows.
Yes, but actually I have a zombie TV show that's kind of related. Nothing else.
Wait until we do the because I got a few more to see here. There was a whole report Gail Anchor gave at NAPI, which is a TV industry conference. One thing I thought that was really interesting is she said we don't have that zombie make it look in HD, so we have to shoot in 360, which is like a more film.
Yeah, yeah.
I think they talked about how that looked cool and stuff. Now we know one of these was that they didn't like that zombie make it look in HD.
Interesting. You didn't love how it looked in HD.
I think you'd more easily be able to see how fake it was.
Oh, yeah.
It's like what's not like the newspapers in HD, you can see all the little.
The zombie
You can see the
yeah,
makeup sometimes.
yeah. Well, that's a good point.
Rumors of the Walking Dead video game. Insight1.com reports receiving an invitation to a Telltale Games event in San Francisco, taking place on Thursday, February 17th, during which Telltale will be announcing 5 new multi-platform products. Among them, says the invitation is quote, one based on a just property from the TV and comic book world whose popularity is changing like the sun know it. Which I could be a slide.
Yes.
Zombie reference there.
Good. How do we get an image of that?
We don't just go on that next day and find out.
Or that name?
Well, if it's not Walking Dead, then we don't care anyway. I don't know what it is, but it's they also do Sam Max Active Feature, Tales of Monkey Island, and Jurassic Park, among many others.
When I worked at Apple years ago, I got playing Monkey Island actually as a paid employee, so that I could help something with user interface research.
cool.
And it seems that would be real.
Good job,
Yeah, Monkey Island's great. Wait, what company is that?
Telltale. So I hope that's true. Yep.
Yeah,
Often games based on other properties aren't that good, sometimes they are.
Yeah,
So, there's some really vague rumors about The Walking Dead second season. It's a little spoiler, but not too bad. But if you're about, they say that we won't see the governor in season 2, but maybe season 3, and we'll see Michonne and Turtle Farm.
Oh.
We'll see if that's true. And finally, there were also rumors that came out just after we did our podcast last time saying that The Walking Dead will be back in July.
Yeah.
This guy who was on Breaking Bad, Bryan Cranston, said, quote, it was a decision from AMC. They wanted to position us in July and Breaking Bad, along with Mad Men, and I believe they're going to put Walking Dead in July as well. I think it's just a simple thing. They want to try to make it as possible, waiting for the competition in September, November, January start. So that's sort of,
Unconfirmed?
unconfirmed.
Still, that's helpful, right? So we have to wait until.
I'm trying to decide, is that helpful?
I wanted to wait that long.
What is that very much? Yeah, that'd be cool.
If it is the same, I think it's
Doing well. Thank you. It's official.
Yes.
All right, shall we move on?
Yes, let's.
Let's move on to our next segment.
Attention shoppers, Deadcast Top 5 in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, this week our Deadcast Top 5 is what?
It is our top 5 favorite zombie characters.
Zombie
Movie
movie.
characters.
Okay,
I got
you go first.
All right.
if you want to.
Well, I will indeed.
Mine 5.
Would you say the zombie characters? Because I went TV show character.
So do
Right, I think you go first.
my number 5 is Jeremy Renner. He's actually a person, but he played Sergeant Doyle in 20 Weeks Later.
He's great.
Yeah, I just liked. I mean, now we talked about it.
Yeah.
It was probably messed up pretty bad, but I just like that he depended on his own hands and tried to save people.
He did it. And he was told by the doctor that kid's life is more important than my life, and more important than anybody's.
That's true. Yeah,
You know,
that was after he already decided to do it. But
Yeah. You can just save the world.
that's
It's
right.
fine.
As I was making this list, I realized that a a lot of people, maybe most people in zombie movies are kind of annoying. You know, like the point of a lot of zombie movies is that the people just work together, they can get away, but since they're petty, selfish, and stupid, they screw all up. And so, you know, sometimes I like that people are bad or mean. You know, like Gary in Dallas. People are like, hey, man, yeah, but it's good in the show because you're a bad guy. You know?
Right.
But when I look at my list, they're mostly ones that had stuff together.
Yeah, yeah.
I like them. And I want to be around them if this happens. You know.
I actually have. Well, I'm just gonna go ahead and say I'm gonna reorder my list because I'm gonna tell you what my number 5 is, which is From Down to Dead 2004. Zombie baby.
I hate that baby.
You remember the baby, don't you?
Yeah, it's
You
unfortunate.
remember the baby? The baby was.
I remember having something to do.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
The zombie baby was great, and so my list is populated by both the heroes and the zombies.
Baddies.
Yeah, I know the zombie was bad. Just a little.
You wouldn't want the video near you.
True.
You want
I wouldn't want to nurse that baby. Bad.
Okay, next, my number 4 is Columbus. You know who that is?
Yes, I know that is. You know that is.
Yeah, when I thought about Zombieland, Columbus is the main character of Zombieland, played by Jesse Eisenberg. I thought, oh, you think I put Woody Harrelson or even Bill Murray? But Columbus, he's unique because he's a kid and he's kind of awkward and he's like trying to score with the girls and he's singing in the zombie movie. It's just so it's a great idea. You know?
It really is.
I like that.
It really is. I love that actor. He's wonderful. What's his name? Just Eisenberg. Yeah, he's. Yeah, exactly. I saw him in Such too. He's a really talented actor, and I saw him in Adventureland.
I didn't see that. It was good.
Oh, great. Kennywood in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania is a part that takes place in. It's a really good movie.
He said in the movie, he just can't understand when first realized my life and starts eating.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
Sometimes actually it's funny because I have 3 characters from Zombie. I couldn't decide Columbus or Bill Murray. I love them both. All 3.
Yeah, me too.
I really did. I saw it again. It's playing on Ethiopia Show. I watched a lot of it.
I watched it again.
Ah, it's so good. It really holds up. It really is. You should definitely watch it. There's a lot there. I love Columbus's list for
Yes,
fighting on them.
totally.
His list were great. Yeah, I quote them all the time. You know, it's like the
Oh, that's what maybe we should. Have we already done that? We should do our own list of 5
rules
things.
for surviving on them. Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Yeah, that's
our next
great.
that's top 5.
Rules for surviving
The zombie apocalypse.
Right. I think that's great. That's excellent. That's excellent. Okay, so I just do you to go ahead.
Oh, that was yours.
Yeah,
Okay. My next one is Anna from Dawn of the Dead, played by Sarah Polley, who's in this movie very much. Spice, the main character. She, I just liked the actor. She played that role so well. I really believed her in that. She's a sweet girl, good-hearted, strong, capable. You know, she's just great. And I was really sad at the end when you started to develop this bond with the guy in the movie, Michael, and then he had to be left back and she went on the boat while he was standing on the dock. You know,
The boat was on the island.
yeah, she immediately probably died. So she was sad along. Merciful ending. I like that too, by the way.
Yeah,
She's really good.
I like it too. Yep, she's great. Great movie. My next one is actually from The Walking Dead. Glenn.
Yay.
Love Glenn. He's great. We were fortunate enough to interview Steven. He's a sweet guy and funny as well as being a terrific actor. And I love his character in the book, or the comic. And I hope Jason and I wouldn't be let down to see him in the TV series and everything. But
Yeah,
we love him.
I bet you know what your number 1 is.
I bet you
It's my number 2.
What's your number 2?
Sean.
It's my number 1.
So love Sean from Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
Ed was awesome too. His buddy, but Sean's the best. And I looked, they have some big quotes on IMDb. So Ed is between Ed and Sean. Ed's like, zombies out there. Sean says, don't say that. What? The Z word. Don't say it. Why not? Because it's ridiculous. All right. Are they out there though? I can't see any idiots. Not as bad as all that. Oh no, they are. So they use the word zombie. I think
I loved this movie. I also have to tell you, Ed, buddy, makes me so happy. I love that actor. He's so great. I love the fact that they stay buddies.
Yeah.
At the very end, it was so great. He's playing video games with me, and he gets to go down there and play video games with his buddy.
And it totally fit with the theme of how people kind of close down and get into their routines. And Sean kind of broke out of it, but he still got back because it was somebody stuck in his routine forever.
Right. And also I think the film was trying to say there's something to be said for routine.
Yeah, and friendship and loyalty to your buds.
Exactly. Yeah, he's great. He's brave and kind of screws up and decides to take everybody down to the pub, Winchester, and thinking that would be the safest place from the zombie apocalypse. And which is a terrible plan. He ends up, and a lot of them dying, right? But he ends up saving girl in the end. And I love when they were walking to the pub and they see the equivalent of Sean, Ed, and the girlfriend and the mom, and they're all walking. Remember that? They're walking exactly like a group.
Yeah, they're all safe. Yeah.
So that's how we
Well, you saw mine because mine was Glenn.
What's your number 2?
Number 2 is Sean. So my number 1 is Glenn. It's similar to Jesse Eisenberg. He's kind of the underdog and he's good-hearted. I guess he's more good-hearted than Jesse Eisenberg's character, but he's capable and funny. He's much needed dose of kind of likeness for his dark show.
Yes, exactly.
He's really good.
Yep.
Good all the way around.
I agree. My number 1 is from Evil Dead 2, Ash.
Oh, I thought you were Sean.
No, I'm sorry, I'm going to do that. Sorry. And Evil Dead 2, one of my favorite zombie movies. Sam Raimi, who's great. I just love him. I also like that movie, Possessed Henrietta, who was the horrible witch in the basement.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's played by Ted Raimi, Sam Raimi's brother.
That's what I saw.
By the way, who did special effects in Evil Dead 2?
Neil Carter.
Greg Nicotero.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Greg Nicotero does
He's here.
Yes.
Yeah, he does. I didn't know that. Cool. I can see him working with Sam Raimi.
Yeah, he's great. He's great.
Oh, Sam Raimi does another good horror flick. I don't know. He's working on something interesting.
Funny, you should say that. Just right now.
World of Warcraft.
Really?
Yeah, he's doing World of Warcraft.
That's freaky. I have more Sam Raimi music.
Okay, good. I have some honorable mentions
Okay,
here.
you're on.
CJ from Dawn of the Dead, the guy who's a security guard,
Yeah.
turned out Kenny Hero.
Yeah.
Rose McGowan's Cherry Darling from Robert Rodriguez Planet Terror.
Yeah.
She's gorgeous and has a machine gun for a leg. Even though I thought that movie kind of sucked. Top of the Grindhouse, there was Death Proof, which was directed by, what's his name, Pulp Fiction, Tarantino, and Planet Terror, Robert Rodriguez. It was a kitschy zombie flick, alien thing, and half the middle wheel was missing, so suddenly half of the movie just jumps to the end.
Oh, great. I'm going to check that. I'm
And she's hot too.
hot chick.
There's Ben from the 1990 Night of the Living Dead. Did you see that? Oh, just another badass hero character. Black dude. Love the zombie from Day of the Dead.
I was going to say, that seems like what you do. Yeah, he was like a smart guy.
Kind of. Yeah, smarter than the other ones. And Tarman, the creepy skeleton zombie from Return of the Living Dead. And also Trash, the hot girl who gets naked in Return of the Living Dead.
I sense the theme.
And my favorite zombies, I think, are the ones in Walking Dead.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, and I like the look.
The classic, aren't they?
Yeah, the classic, they look the best.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
yeah.
the effects have come so far.
Remember the woman in the front store with her chin hanging down and tongue like, yeah, her.
Whatever. Yeah, Brody.
Yes.
Okay, what is next? This Week in Zombies.
All right. We were just talking about our pal Sam Raimi. It says Sam Raimi set to resurrect the Evil Dead for a modern remake.
No way.
That's what it says. Who knows
Oh
if it's
my
just a rumor?
God.
I don't know if it's just a rumor or not. But this is from actually very in London. It says director of blazing lo-fi horror once back in cinemas and remade for a proper theatrical experience. Because most people really haven't seen it. I didn't see any of them in a movie. I saw them all.
I saw Army Darkness.
Yeah, okay, I saw Darkness. That's not the same thing. Like many of the Deadite zombie antagonists, its movie series never quite seemed ready to rest in peace. According to a US report, Sam Raimi was planning to remake of his notorious 1981 horror The Evil Dead, which by the way was already remade. The new film would presumably mark the launch of a new series of films. Evil Dead was followed by Evil Dead 2 in 1987 and Army Darkness in 1982. Bruce Campbell starred in all 3 films. Bruce Campbell, who I love. Gosh, it'd be great to keep Bruce Campbell in it too. He's so good. Rob Tappert, Raimi's longtime producing partner, told Detroit Free Press, the filmmaker wanted to see Evil Dead remade for a proper theatrical experience. It's possible looking at the script, monkey said, what's interesting about Evil Dead is very few saw it in the format it made for, which is in the theater. I think Sam wants to embrace the ultimate experience in grueling terror.
That would be awesome.
And I wonder if they could do it and still keep the
Charm.
yeah.
I would like it. I think because in Dragon Hell, it still had that Raimi quality.
Yeah. By the way, so I was looking at the IMDb, and he was attached as an executive producer of a thing called Zombie Roadkill. Did you talk about this? 2010 was a TV series. Maybe in there. It was starring among other people Thomas Hayden Church.
Wow.
Sideways. Yeah, and Sam Raimi was executive producer. The executive producer says Senator called kids as they're driving on a familiar road. Everything seems fit for a road trip to late, but when the group accidentally runs over and suspects a squirrel, they quickly realize there will be a price to pay. The cursed road brings the zombie squirrel back to life to terrorize kids. Yes, you heard that right. After the kids crash, everyone's except for the younger brother. He's forced to sit down and journey to defeat the ancient curse and save his brother and friends before it's too late. That seems fake. Like that can't possibly be real. Does anybody knows about Zombie Roadkill? Please let me know. Is that some fake IMDb?
Could be, I don't know, but there were other zombie TV shows we talked about. I never watched any of them.
Neither did I. It's less than the hours a day. All right, this last thing. That was actually from Wired magazine. It's titled "Indestructible Mobile Home Keeps Out Mad Max Zombies." This was actually back in December, and it's this crazy looking futuristic. I'll show you a picture of it. It's sort of an old futuristic looking it's a mobile home, but it looks like a pod, like a metal pod, and you can hide there from the apocalypse. It says this portable steel clad shed might look like a render from your favorite post-apocalyptic first-person shooter, but it's terrifyingly real. Designed and built by Dutch designer Joop van Lieshout. The Vostok cabin is currently on show in Paris. This hut is as minimal as it's creepy. The only amenities are a light, wood stove, toilet, and a couple of benches. The rusting scarred walls are welded from steel plates reclaimed from dead ships, and while the zombies might make a terrible playing racket as they slowly try to claw their way in, the human meal inside this tin can will likely stay safe until his own food runs out. What on earth is man, Life's how it's thinking when he designed this. Literally, he tells us the changing climate, growing poverty, wars and war are only expanding. This movable nomadic dwelling unit provides shelter from this disconcerting situation. Yeah. And it goes to that's our future right there. You think if you were building a shelter to help you outlast the apocalyptic times, you'd make it a little less depressing. Come on, what's going on? You'd spec out a beautiful symmetrical wooden handle for the stove lid, but you couldn't find time to add a layer of paint. Not to worry though, the only thing left in existence after the nuclear winter from cockroaches will be the equally ubiquitous IKEA. You can always bring the place up. Here's the intro. It is really depressing.
Yeah, it looks like something out of some indie apocalypse movie or something.
Yeah, that's the movie right there. You have some Power Wars in there.
It's like a cube.
And yeah. After you feel like safe and the zombies stop playing on the outside and start to death, you go out and face the nuclear holocaust.
He melts away. Any news? Okay, I'm getting into some contest news. First, let's talk about Play Dead. We're going to do the copy here. As you guys know, that's the Broadway thriller. Co-writer Todd Robinson, New York Magazine calls a concept show and stars as the audience storytelling guide on the evening, exploring death, darkness, and deception. Magician, comedian, dark arts expert, killer, and television director, and the co-writer, who according to the New York Post has quote filled Play Dead with elaborate illusions, effects, including a slam bang finale. And if you guys listen to last week, we read email from a guy who went saw it, he seemed to like it a lot. So if you guys get a chance, let us know. I want to see if people agree. As Variety says, quote, there's one thing more fun than haunted house is haunted theater. And Time Out New York raised 5 stars, rate 8 is exactly the kind of show that will have you pawing each other for comfort. That's awesome. If you're interested, you can get tickets at ticketmaster.com or go to www.playdeadnyc.com for more information. So we announced last week that we were going to give out another 2 tickets for the show. And all you need to do was list a review on iTunes that did what?
That used 2 words in the review.
Which word?
Oh, which were puppies and
Dead. So we only got 1 entry. So this guy won. And his name is Cheesehead1493. He wrote in the review that the best podcast to listen to when you get tired, keeps me awake, entertained, and doesn't listen to work, including sales. But I decided to make you draw his name anyway.
all right. Bowl of a giant work container that are friendly to your turn.
There it is.
Jason! Oh!
Get in there. Sorry, dude.
Big cheer, Jason.
So if she said I didn't mean that, you and please write to me and let me know how I can get hold of you. Actually, I just send you something over email, so just send me an email. I'll send you a voucher back.
And you can feel free to call me big cheer.
Yes, call me whatever you want. See if you actually do it. And you can email me at brains@wildcat.com. And let us know if you see this and what you think of it once you watch it.
Yeah, and feel free people who are putting this on to bring us into this.
I think the more you say that, the more likely it happens. Yeah, 10 more times. That now, as you guys probably know, every time we get 5 reviews on iTunes, we're going to about a Walking Dead trade paperback, the first volume, the first 6 issues of the comic. So we only have 63 reviews right now, so we're going to get out another one. I need 2 more. But the one, thumbs up 34, aka Josie, who last time I heard from you. So you got a copy of this comedy, just send me an email.
Come on, Josie.
Ready for that show?
I am.
Okay, that's our show, episode 24. Thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks.
I just keep thinking that I'm really enjoying doing this podcast.
I know, me too.
A lot of fun that we decided to do it. Yeah, I wish I could get paid for this. I just do this. I really appreciate all you guys listening to, and of course, it makes it worthwhile. And if you guys want to get involved, it would be fun to grow this some. Now we did fantastic. People who are listening right now are probably a little more into it, and people just come in the shows on
agreed.
So if you want to join us in the fun tech part, somehow let us know. Some ideas of how people get involved is make some music for us. If you want to help with the website design, I kind of just wrote this website that we have, and I don't really know about it. So if you have any ideas for features or design or whatever, let me know. If you want to make an iPhone app for us, that'd be cool. You actually don't totally need any of that, but I'm just trying to think of ways that we get people involved. That would, you could have your work seen or heard by thousands of people, and it'd be fun to take part in it. Yeah, that'd be cool. One thing we absolutely do need is that I was going to go to Comic-Con this summer, and Karen and I can interview people there. Stars of the show, whoever shows up. But Jenny's preggers, and she's due August 1st, and so I don't want to miss it for my child.
No, I think that would be bad.
Yeah, I don't like podcasts that much.
We love the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, we love podcasts during birthday trial.
I'm not sure how that works.
I don't know that we can do this on Tuesday. I said it, you're coming out.
And hopefully, yeah,
And we're getting, not
you, Matt.
Jane and I are getting ready to Comic-Con, so it would be bad if I disappeared before like. So, not to Comic-Con.
Yeah, so I was thinking if one or maybe a couple of you, you and a friend, your adventurous friend, would like to go to Comic-Con on our behalf and talk to the stars of the show and get some good, juicy tidbits from them. That you have a lot of fun. You have to get your own tickets and transportation, but I think probably since we've had them on the show, we probably get a press pass and do it to you, and you can get access that other people wouldn't have. So if you are into that, let me know, and we can talk about it on the phone and talk over and see if it would fit and everything. But I'd love it if a couple of you would step up and if you're excited about doing something like that, let me know. If not, then we just won't have any Comic-Con coverage, which is a shame. We're at the report news and all that stuff. So that's after that. Like I said, let me know if you're into doing that stuff I just mentioned. For our next episode in a couple of weeks, we're going to be watching Splice and Black Sheep, talking about that. And our next top 5 will be our 5 top 5 rules for surviving.
Yeah.
And that's that. If you want to get a hold of us, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3333.
You can email us at brains@walkingdead.com.
Check out our website and leave comments at walkingdead.com.
We're also at twitter.com/JasonTurn, or you can find us on Facebook by searching for Walking Dead.
All right, that's the show.
Thanks for listening.
Don't get angry. Blank your rage.
It's hard to remember now, but the internet used to be fun.
I can't believe how easy it is to search that. There's a
On Long Shadow Breaking the Internet, your Facebook tool that once fueled democracy.
Politician activist, organized on Facebook.
Became a weapon at the very heart of it.
You're watching the unraveling of our democracy right now.
From Long Lead and PRS, this is Long Shadow Breaking the Internet. Subscribe now wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Rick, and I'm Royce Yepov. Welcome to our Chart Topping podcast from Harvard Business School. Think big, buy small. This series lets you learn a special way to become an entrepreneur. How to buy your own business, be your own boss, and get financial benefits of your efforts. Entrepreneurship through acquisition involves searching for existing, enduringly profitable smaller business and buying it, usually from a retiring founder. Back for a brand new season, our conversations with guests from all backgrounds and different stages of the entrepreneurship through acquisition journey. And those considering whether this path is right for them, all the way through those who have sold businesses, they bought researchers and ran CEOs, thousands of smaller firms sold every year, and many people successfully acquired existing businesses and enduringly profitable. So why not you too? We've been helping students understand this less travel path to personal and professional independence in our courses at Harvard Business School for nearly 15 years. But you don't have to attend Harvard Business School to take advantage.